It's time for the final fight of the night. Everyone board the vengeurR bus as vengeurR, of course, is taking on CNZ in our last game of the evening, lads.
It's
I
kind of the
mean,
Maestro B100 run back that we saw earlier between Razy and Base. I think it's going to be a good one, man. vengeurR on top of the charts right now, sitting pretty at number one. Most map wins on the EU side, but CNZ is, I think, three close, nipping at the heels. And DJ Wheat, sorry to cut you off. Please don't kill me.
no, I was sharing the kind of energy and excitement that you had, 40. This is an exciting one, right? We talked about how deep the talent pool is right now in the EU region. How being fifth does not mean that you are a mid-level player. It just means that it's brutal in these matchups back and forth. This one though, exciting. I love that chat's kind of calling vengeurR the next legend of Quake, right? That he certainly has all the skills, but CNZ's story is one I love, right? He came out, he fought through challengers, he made his way into the Quake World Championship, and then had an amazing performance. Really been fairly consistent throughout. So, like the battle of the new blood here, a lot to be excited about. CNZ is certainly impressed. vengeurR has just been, our jaws have been dropped, and we've been in awe with what he's been doing. Also, love his attitude that he brings to the game. So much to love about this one.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot on the line from either side, right? Because it's hard to not love all of the Maestro players. Each and every one of them are just so wonderful inside and outside of the game. But vengeurR is flashy. He lives up to his title, right? When he gets on the server, he is dancing towards victories. And I think that's going to be the fun takeaway. No matter what happens in this matchup tonight, we're going to see a lot of flashy plays, a lot of cinematic stuff coming out from vengeurR, and a lot of really classical Quake being shown by CNZ. So the matchup should be pretty damn hot.
I completely agree. Once vengeurR kind of heats up and starts hitting those flicks, streaky rails, like it's just like chef's kiss. Like you just love to see. It's going to take a lot of work. CNZ's in a slouch.
Yeah, I mean, 2-3. He's had some great victories. I'm recalling his match versus Cypher, was able to take a game out, but Cypher kind of, dominating the other two. Certainly a player with the potential there, but I think, right, the thing that's so blinding from vengeurR's side is that he just has this momentum that seems to be unstoppable. So certainly an uphill battle for CNZ. I'm not sure if that's what you were getting at, 40, but I agree if that's kind of what you're trying to get across.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely is going to be fighting from the back foot, of course, coming into it. I think everyone would probably favor vengeurR, right? At a glance, immediately, you'd probably think there's a lot of strength for vengeurR. In terms of how we think it is actually going to go, though, any predictions that aside from that, anyone actually think that CNZ will be taking it down tonight?
No, I don't. I mean, I would be surprised CNZ took the series. I think definitely most people favor vengeurR in this one. I do think that we have got at least a scenario two. Of course, they haven't looked at maps and picks yet, but like CNZ is a player who can pull something out and surprise us. There's no doubt about it. So, I'd be hard pressed to maybe put a 3-0 for vengeurR, but I don't know. I guess we'll have to see the picks and pans.
Yeah, we can actually get into them as well. So let's have a look. Let's see if that will swing us a little bit, as we do have the picks and bans on screen. 40, champion-wise, map-wise, is this singing any stories to you?
Big fan of the Deep Embrace. That's going to be the last map of the set. But Blood Covenant starting off with a bang, as you'd say. Athena versus Nyx. That's going to be high mobility from both players. We got Strog and Anarchy on Molten Falls. Again, speedy boys. And then Deep Embrace, Ranger, and Doom guy. I'm into it, man. I think I would have to go with vengeurR 2-1 though. I think that's going to be my prediction for this one.
Yeah, I got to agree with you. To be honest, looking at this, I think surely vengeurR does take it. There is a little bit of an interesting one, though. Deep Embrace with the Ranger. Dire Orb's always useful, but the double jump of Doom, I genuinely think CNZ could edge out Deep Embrace. Even though that's more of the sort of map that conforms to vengeurR's playstyle, I think this should be an opening two maps. Blood Covenant and Molten, he'll come in, he'll clean up, and then Deep Embrace, I think, is actually going to be the harder one to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm though excited, as I'm sure many others are, to have Deep Embrace be a potential decider here. I still believe, based off of all the games that we've seen, there's not one style that is kind of dominating Deep Embrace. We've seen it played chaotically fast. We've seen it played meticulously slow. And I'm just constantly excited to see a clash of styles, regardless of what two players are there. So excited about that one too, because I think it has a lot of great potential. Of course, it could be said, vengeurR could come out just swinging, and who knows where that puts us in the third map. It's kind of why I'm hoping for at least one close game, but I'm definitely excited for that third map.
Well, I hope you get everything you want out of this series. It's set to be a very enjoyable one. I'll leave it in your very capable hands, lads. Enjoy this matchup, as it looks to be a banger.
Thanks, Jackie.
I'm gonna miss you so much, Jackie. But it's time for you and I to shine. Let's get into it here. So brass tacks, what do you think? Now that we see the maps and everything, you're staying true. You're not flopping. What is it? What do we got here?
I think I've got a head and heart situation, 40 Lions. Like, I think my heart wants it to be like probably a 2-1 for vengeurR. I think my head does say, like, you misspoke. It's very likely that vengeurR could pull out a 3-0 here. While we've seen some of the consistency waver for CNZ, I've seen the guy do amazing things. We all have, right? So I never want to eliminate that one wild card from the equation, and I definitely think CNZ is, he has a wild card to play. So I'll go with 2-1 vengeurR.
I think I'm going to lock in the 2-1 as well after seeing everything and just thinking about it. I mean, 3-0 wouldn't blow my mind on vengeurR's end.
Right.
But, I mean, it's been a day of upsets, so no disrespect to CNZ. He could come out swinging and maybe he could get a 3-0. It'll be a tough one, but we've seen crazier things today. I'm just hoping the games are close and maybe we get that 17-minute sudden death I've been wanting.
Today could be the day, 40 Lions. It could happen right here. We're about to jump into map number 1 of our second featured matchup for week 8, vengeurR versus CNZ, and we are going live following vengeurR right off the bat, who is just already screaming across the map, grabbing himself the heavy. We get a grapple up to the railgun, and he's like, I'm great. I'm set now for the whole map. I'm good to go. But here we go. The first shot's fired as vengeurR's going to just hold on and try to control that railgun a little bit, landing his first rail of the game. And I think that means he's just going to go ahead and maybe grab light and potentially the mega as well. No, he's going to rage forward and maybe get some additional positioning here. Does see his opponent up top, flick rails, misses, second one. Misses, third one hits, and they head over to mega.
I think he's going to detour a little bit. He wants to cut off and just keep the damage high. There's another rail on CNZ as he gets forced into the pillars, and vengeurR finally is like, all right, I should grab an item. Let's not get too crazy. But the rail's coming out from vengeurR. He wants a fight. He wants to keep the damage high, and that's exactly what he's doing here. And again, super mobile with those grappling hooks. Nyx ain't so bad herself with the wall jump, but Athena can just be in your face in a heartbeat across the map. The verticality on Blood Covenant as well lends itself to her grappling hooks. There's a little bit of rocket damage there, but nothing too crazy. vengeurR's slowing it down just a bit.
I do agree with you. I think watching Athena on this map and a few others is it's really refreshing. It's exciting. I love not only how grapple's used offensively, but defensively as well. And another great rail coming out by vengeurR. Oh, he misses the initial pull and gets wrapped up on a column there, but comes on down. We do see the Ghost Walk pop out there. vengeurR's going to try to regain position, thinks his opponent might be up at the top, kind of misjumps there a little bit, finds him, hits the rail as CNZ grabs that light, and now heading back over to the column. Big fight here in very small spaces. CNZ manages to get out, but vengeurR grabs that mega.
And it's the little things with vengeurR. That moment ago where he hooks through the telly to get max speed. It was just so well done by vengeurR. Looks so comfortable right now, but still no opening frag 2 minutes in from either player. But vengeurR's got the stack, and it's just a matter of, I think, stalking his prey, and that's kind of what's happening right now. CNZ does have the Ghost Walk in case things go horribly wrong. He's been keeping that in his pocket, but mostly living off of poverty items, it looks like.
Yeah, that's one way. It's definitely one way to put it. There we see the grapple through the telly, clearing his corners to make sure there's no opponents just waiting for him up there. And there's the both of the major items picked up for vengeurR, and you can do that when you can gain that much momentum and fly across the map. As vengeurR once again going to try to find position, a great flick rail coming around the corner. He's going to be able to do it again up the top. Ghost Walk is popped. And vengeurR not really knowing where his opponent is. And I mean, CNZ, he's playing it nicely, but he has just been low almost all game. There's another offensive grapple. LG does come out. CNZ's so close, so
that
low.
LG,
vengeurR knows, yeah.
that LG from ZNZ was insane and literally saved his life. It was so brutal that vengeurR finally gave up and a little bit of additional rocket splash afterwards, and he was like, you know what? It's not even worth it. And somehow CNZ stays alive. Not only that, but gets in on the heavy, and stacks are about even after what looked like, surely, the first frag for vengeurR. So CNZ turns it all around, upside down, with a whole bunch of LG.
Yeah, it was very, very nice. And to think that vengeurR opened that up with that beautiful rail as he dropped, or as he, chased his opponent through the lower hallways. And here he goes again, once again, trying to get that momentum, swinging around the side, misses that rail, but will reposition up to the rail bridge. And geez, these rails hitting a 56% rail right now with 16 shots, but still hasn't necessarily given him the opportunity to get a whole lot of damage there. A rocket to the face, Ghost Walk pop yet again. His opponent manages to get up there, and Mega is.
And that's unfortunate for vengeurR there. I think he was a little bit nervous of the inside out, so he dropped down to lower. That gave CNZ position on the Mega, but items were traded. And vengeurR actually has some armor to his name, unlike CNZ, who does get the top 50. And that rocket splash will not land. So again, nothing to see. 430 in. This one is close, Wheat.
Yeah, I mean, based just off the rail accuracy of vengeurR and the shots he'd been hitting, you would think he'd have a frag posted on the board right now. But it just goes to show and speaks to the game that CNZ is playing right now. They're going to have another rail pop out. CNZ a little bit hurt, but so is vengeurR. He's forced to back off as well, and he is going to grab that heavy. They'll pass each other from the middle to the lower. And I'm, like, for as much action as we've seen, I'm surprised that it's 0-0 still.
Yeah, still relatively slow here, but the damage from vengeurR, about 500 more, and CNZ still just staying alive. Again, it all came down to that LG push. Once vengeurR tried to close the gap and get the frag in the middle of the map, CNZ held his ground and hit just massive amounts of LG, and that was about as close as vengeurR's gotten to a frag all game. But the damage output's still extremely high. You just can't close it out, and there's the hook around the corner. The rocket's not going to be that lucrative, only 13 damage. And I wonder if vengeurR's slowly getting a little more and more frustrated.
Yeah, I would imagine so, especially, with some of these rail trades they've been having. CNZ lands that first rail, and vengeurR answers back. Both players not looking in their best shape. vengeurR's going to drop down and grab that light and head on over to the heavy, which has just been picked up. So he will rearm himself with that rail, grab the light, and head back over. So, I mean, yeah, he's got everything going for him. He's hitting his shots, he's getting his positioning, but CNZ's playing a very, very smart game. We're 6 minutes in, it's still 0-0, but it hasn't been for a lack of action.
There's the mega pickup, and there's the rail from CNZ, and that's going to give him advantage here. Is he going to get back quick enough? He's going to eat a rail for trying to. Machine gun comes out, just peppering vengeurR. He's going to miss with a rail. CNZ won't miss. However, and there's the jump up. He wants to end this right now and take the frag. There's a good defensive rail from vengeurR. A little bit for the shotgun. All up in his face. CNZ drops down and says the first one's mine at about 7 minutes in.
What an exchange that was. I actually thought that second rocket was going to mid-air CNZ, and it did not. He had the beautiful shotgun follow-up, and now all eyes on him as, like, how is he going to adjust the play style that he's already brought out here on this map, and deny his opponent in whichever way he possibly can. vengeurR incredibly low, can just simply not go for that heavy. He manages he concedes it to his opponent, coming around the corner, almost gets met with a rocket. He's still not really in any shape to fight, and I think that CNZ knows that, but takes a rail on his own, forced to pop that Ghost Walk, and here's an opportunity for vengeurR to possibly tie it back up.
and that's a big rocket, though. CNZ again staying alive, playing defensive, playing perfect defensively. As he won't have Ghost Walk for about 15 seconds. The stack looks a little bit better, but vengeurR on the hunt now. Through the lower catacombs, through LG back into the pillar room, and CNZ will take his leave off that and say, all right, Mega's yours. I don't care. I'm going to stay alive and try and stack back up off what I can and just keep away. He's only got to stay alive for 2 minutes. I mean, I know it's a little bit long, but with Ghostwalk and Nyx, it's very possible that this could just end 1-0.
Yeah, he's got that get out of free jail card in that Ghostwalk. And so that 2 minutes, which normally 2 minutes in Quake seems like it can be an eternity, but that gives him a lot of of time wasted potential right there. So throwing off your opponent, yeah, sometimes your opponent can guess the right way, but as long as he plays in a very defensive nature, and doesn't put himself in that spot, he should be good. But here we go, rockets land out there. He has to pop it. Going around the side, will immediately go to the lower columns and gets the light as well as the bubble. He lands a rail and his opponent is on the hunt.
Ooh. Still pestering, though, with the damage, and that's going to be huge for CNZ. If he were to just run away and not do any damage, that would give vengeurR free reign. Even though he's given up the map, he's still doing what he needs to just be a pest and make this so much harder on vengeurR. And Ghostwalk is available again.
Yeah. And there goes, dropping down from the top. We'll pop the Ghostwalk. 50 seconds left on the clock, and this is where you start to get a little sweaty. Might be some condensation on your palms, on that mouse. It gets a little bit harder. And here he comes through. Big grapple to come into the LG room, and CNZ at 16, and he lands it with the shotgun to follow up. And now we are tied 1-1 with 30 seconds left to go.
And vengeurR gets the heavy, and that's going to be a case of CNZ taking his foot off the gas way too early here as vengeurR makes him pay, ties it at 1 with 20 seconds. Is he going to go for the win, or does he want to play for a more solid, sudden death kind of approach? We'll see here. As vengeurR making his way back towards the Mega, it's not going to be up for 18 seconds. Heavy's going to be the next item in play. Here's the rod, gets a little bit of damage and knows exactly what's up. There's the swing and the drive-by. He gets a nice chunky rocket. Maybe he's going to go for it here as CNZ is on the back foot. Sudden death, that rocket will clip the wall. Ghostwalk still available for CNZ.
It was kind of interesting that CNZ was like, okay, I'm going to take it easy till overtime. And vengeurR was like, I'm going to win this before overtime. Two totally polarizing different sides. But here we are. Overtime has been reached here on Blood Covenant. 1-1. Next frag decides this first game. And it is pretty exciting. Both players kind of at an equal stack, but I think that they're going to want to get up to, where they feel comfortable. That first rail comes out, and we'll see CNZ make his way over to the Mega. vengeurR is right on top of him. Some exchange of rails yet again. CNZ on the lower levels, no armor at all. vengeurR has a little bit of an advantage here, fighting from the top, but CNZ gets away.
Just trying to keep that damage up. vengeurR relentless here. CNZ not really having any room to breathe as Heavy's going to go to vengeurR. And there's the hookup. Max speed through. What a rail! What? A little bit of Tri-Bolt. Is this going to be it? He's forcing CNZ down into the lower pillars after the Mega pickup. He's starting to heat up slowly but surely. You can tell there's the LG. CNZ not ready for it. Ghostwalk is popped. vengeurR actually takes a little bit of damage on the return rocket there, but he's going to cut off, and that rocket into rail! Wow, CNZ places a rocket almost perfectly, but vengeurR says, I don't even care. Here's the rail, and he takes that map and steals it away. That was fantastic.
Jotun in chat said the flick of the day, and then 10 seconds later, vengeurR was like, bullshit, this is the flick of the day. And a crazy game from what had to have been, as you pointed out, some of the frustration from vengeurR in terms like, how am I doing so much damage, but I can't seem to get that frag, to the way that CNZ continued to say, I'm gonna play this to CNZ pace, right? Those two rails were amazing. Those will be in frag movies for the next 15 years. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. That's the stuff that you expect to see from vengeurR. Flying across the map, flick rails, just 100 miles an hour, and then as the opponent, you're like, I don't even know where I'm getting hit from anymore. But vengeurR closes it out, doesn't give up, and just hits all the shots he needs. Again, the rail prevails for the Italian Stallion. putting himself on the board, taking map number 1. And CNZ played pretty fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. He played similar to his teammate Base, right? He got the frag lead and he was playing very defensive. Again, the problem is if you give up too much of the map too early and you take your foot off the gas, I mean, that's what's gonna happen, and it caught up with him.
That is, I mean, a great way to open up this series. 40. I loved it. I'm glad to see CNZ there at the end with a smile on his face, even though a very, very hard fought game. Don't feel like he's going into this next map, tilted or anything. Like, I think he was like, damn, that was sick. Yeah, like, you literally hit me from the back with the rail like moments ago. I don't even know how you did that, but seeing the Athena come out there in full force at the end, we were talking about how we really enjoyed watching some of these Athena games, the way that the momentum can, and you could play with the grapple, and we got to see it there in sudden death for the final frag. Beautiful.
Yeah, even though he lost, it's good to see kind of CNZ in high spirits. I mean, game recognized game kind of thing. He's like, all right, Venger. All right, I see you. Let's go to map number 2. Hopefully this one will be just as good. We got Strog and Anarchy on Molten. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see we've seen a lot of good peeker plays today. I know they were on different maps, but I'm always excited to see kind of how people utilize the peeker and if they can get massive amounts of damage or just big old frags with it.
Except for that game between Cooler and Kilson, where I think the only time that Peeker came out on Blood Covenant was while Cooler was falling to his death with the heavy and just threw it out there.
It was a slow motion Peeker, yeah.
It was, yeah. What are you gonna do?
But Anarchy inject, we'll see if CNZ uses that and kind of injects as soon as he gets it so he can get that max stack up, or if he uses it and holds it more for mid-fight kind of health boost. It's always interesting to see how Anarchy players utilize that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love to talk about kind of the pacing of the games, right? Because a lot of players' styles will dictate how they will want to play, and this one's a kind of a hard one to call, because it can change between players. But we won't have to wait long. 40, we're live as we take it on. We're going to get Venger right off of the bat, and he is heading over to Mega. He actually just passes right over the top of it, grabs himself an RL, probably a smart move. He's just gonna wait. He's gonna chill a little bit. He's gonna play out a little bit of CNZ's game, and he also obviously delayed it, assuming that his opponent picked up that heavy. So we'll see how for him.
Yep, so now he can deal as much damage as he likes at heavy, and then has enough time to rotate back to Mega, and CNZ might be in trouble here. Venger waiting patiently at shotgun, sees the heavy, and just like that, is it off the map? That was so close. That rocket sends CNZ flying. I thought that was going to be just completely off the map, but just like that, in a blink of an eye, Venger has full map control, and his stack is looking scary.
Oh, we do get a shot out from CNZ, a rail from down below, but coming back up top. First speaker comes out. And that's not going to do much. And in fact, Venger's going to just back off, knowing that we've almost got to be time for the heavy. And as he waits for it, LG comes out. CNZ barrels into the room. Not sure if he was expecting Venger to be there, but Venger gets the jump on him. LG's him down, takes that first frag.
That was very, very scary right there. There's Venger taking map control yet again. And just playing so fast. You love to see it here. Positioning again on shotgun. He's got about 8 seconds. Heavy comes back up. I think he heard the sound cue for CNZ, maybe trying to get some damage. But nothing doing. A CNZ waiting patiently on the mid ground towards the Mega. But that stack on Venger's huge. He wants an LG, a little bit of rocket damage. Peeker's back up as well as he's looking for the rail around the corner. A little bit of rocket spam coming out from CNZ. Deals with the Peeker nicely. But even still, even the rockets that Venger just kind of throwing out still do damage. The CNZ drops onto the Mega, grabs it, but eats so much damage.
Negated. That's where denied comes out. It's like you picked it up, but here's some LG and a rail for you. And it's like you never had it. Venger, though, not looking too good, as CNZ did manage to get in a few shots there as well. Up by this one frag. Gives him a little bit of, breathing room, but one frag, not so much here on Molten, especially there's so much time left on this map. A lot that can happen. And we've got Mega up now. And, I think Venger has an idea, but it was picked up by CNZ. And so he's just going to chill here in the middle. He knows he's got a chance here at heavy, But you know, he went from full control to then CNZ kind of having it in his hands.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta concede, and that's exactly what happened. Here's vengeurR rocking a full natural stack, but trying to find some sort of damage here. That rail somehow dancing past it. The second one's gonna connect from CNZ. He's barreling through the door, rockets out, and somehow vengeurR still does max damage on his way out, but CNZ does get that frag.
Yeah, and the mega tying it up. He's sitting pretty off of the spawn, but we're gonna see vengeurR bring that rail out and already start to chip away at that full stack into light rail room. And you know what is CNZ got the frag, right? Pretty much tied the game up, but didn't get much of an opportunity to, you know, convert any sort of frag. Mega is up again, and somehow vengeurR is able to sneak away with that one like a thief in the night, runs away, and now we're gonna have a next battle over here at heavy.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate there. CNZ kind of got caught in the middle of rotating between angles, and vengeurR just popped right in there and took exactly what he wanted. Going up the jump pad, rockets not landing for either player. CNZ with the rail, though. A little bit of rocket return from vengeurR. Now he's going to push up the stairs. The rockets won't land. The second one will, but can vengeurR do it? He's got 26 HP after he picks up CNZ near death. That rocket in the face. Wow.
He's very thankful that Mega is a thing after after that one. CNZ with a beautiful defensive rocket that was just so nicely placed, anticipating his opponent come through that lower level. And I like this back and forth now at 1-1. A great rail coming out from CNZ yet again. vengeurR now no armor stack at all. Mega is going to be up. Ooh, almost hits that one as he goes up the jump pad. Going to make the aggressive rocket jump up to the top. Does find him down below. Wow. Lands the rail from atop, and CNZ takes the lead 2-1.
Really good shot there. vengeurR just jumping right back into it. He doesn't have the stack. The shotgun should be able to take it. He misses the blast, but CNZ with the follow-up. That was very dangerous. Ooh, the rocket off the spawn.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say that was a close call right there, based on missing that shotgun blast. But somehow he gets it, repositions, hits it up to 5-minute mark. Is done with. As we proceed to the back half of this duel here, CNZ looking strong. The Tri-Bolt wants to switch out, doesn't get any damage, and looking a little bit lower here is vengeurR stack looking fat, but now he needs to find CNZ.
Yeah, I mean, vengeurR is in a perfect position right now in terms of his items. CNZ is not right. He's only got 125 stack. He's going to hang out here in the middle, which I think is smart. Kind of get an idea where his opponent's coming from. Lands that rail. Coming out of the teleporter, going to try to fire up a couple of rockets, but it's a little early there for the heavy. He's going to have to retreat. And wow, that is not a sound you want to hear behind you, but he turned around just in time. Managed to get the kill on Peaker, still 3-1 between these two.
There's nothing more terrifying, right? Especially during Halloween. You're like, I hear something behind me. He's behind you. But
a vacuum with really bad teeth, like really nasty, sharp teeth is what I think it is.
Exactly. It's like a misbehaving Dyson here. As it's still up by 2 frags. Inject is available. And as the time ticks away, you start to get into this kind of danger zone again with CNZ. You know he's more than capable of playing a plus back style. That vengeurR rail was fantastic taking down CNZ. And he's on the chase. I think there's another one, and CNZ was like, where are you? Why are you hitting me? And now he's kind of stuck. Doesn't really know. vengeurR just hoovers up everything on the map, but he needs the frag. I thought he was going to go around the corner. Instead, takes the telly, makes the top route towards heavy, and just adds to his stack. But he needs to be adding to his frag lead here, or excuse me, his frags in general, so he can start taking the lead as he's still down by 2.
Yeah, and I think CNZ has kind of already gone into super defensive mode. But if vengeurR continues to kind of run the routes and play the way he has, you called it out, right? There was 2 moments there within a span of 15 seconds where CNZ had no idea where those rails come from. None at all. None. And, you know, it arguably kind of shook him up a little bit for a moment, but seems to be pretty comfortable with the stack that he's got and, you know, what his opponent is giving him. trying to find some damage, hitting a few rails, a little bit of LG right there. But, you know, vengeurR, he keeps the stack up, and he's just looking for that perfect moment to strike.
So you see that rail flying over CNZ's shoulder. He's going to inject. He has a pretty good stack, but it looks like full defense here as he's setting up base. 2 frags up, 2 minutes left. Looking to hug the ropes on this one. We saw it backfire on map number 1. Can vengeurR make magic happen again? So he comes flying around the corner. The rocket defensively won't hit from CNZ, and he escapes through Vitelli. So much nail damage through that chase. But vengeurR around the corner, relentless, doesn't have a choice, and CNZ didn't see that coming at all. Gets knocked upside the head with a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, I can't help but think that CNZ maybe turned that defense on a little bit early and was giving vengeurR some opportunities. And, you know, he played patient. He found a moment. He's still got a 1 frag lead, but obviously 2 frag more than the 1. 90 seconds left. And, you know, the pressure is going to be on vengeurR here, but he's playing this one right. He's being aggressive when he needs to. He's got his opponent down to 45. Will vengeurR chase? He does. The LG hits him, and he's tied this up with 1 minute and 10 seconds left to go.
And that is just so disheartening right now. CNZ slowly crumbling. It's all coming undone here. As vengeurR looking to heat up, he's going to take yet another heavy and make his way back to the Mega, but he's got plenty of time to deal damage in between. This is not looking good for CNZ. He does grab a 50. The LG defense is good again. The Estonian here. Peeker's back up for vengeurR, not landing the rockets. But again, around the corner, just as CNZ tries to make his way onto the maze, he's got damage. The Peeker doing so much.
Wow, and CNZ on the run yet again. vengeurR's got him. There's the rail. Lands a little bit of LG, just enough to make the rail kill worthy, and he takes the lead 4-3. I think CNZ was really banking on playing the rest of the game, you know, being the hider and not the seeker, and letting it go into overtime. That was just not going to happen, as vengeurR now with that 1 frag lead. As his opponent comes up that jump pad, we see him lock on that LG, and now he gets to play the run game, and he's going to be completely comfortable doing that. The clock ticks away, and vengeurR takes it 4-3.
Wow. He did it again. He did it again. A little bit of run VNG at the end there, but he did it. So again, it's a tale of CNZ maybe giving up a little bit, not giving up, but taking his foot off the gas a little bit too early, and it comes back to haunt him 2 maps in a row.
Yeah, I mean, that was really early. It was like 7 minutes in when CNZ was like, hey, I've got the 2 frag lead. I'm just, you know, it worked out for me. I'll keep on taking the shots I need to take, but you know, I feel like something switched up in vengeurR there just a little bit. Like, right, like we saw him get a few of those shots without his opponent really knowing where the hell they even came from. And I think just capitalizing on that, and every little tiny mistake he made in terms of positioning, getting in that little bit of extra damage, eventually it was going to catch up to him. You could imagine if he just sort of played the game that he was trying to play and waited until the last 90 seconds, would have been much harder. A little bit of frustration on CNZ's face right there, but we still have a 3rd map. vengeurR up 2-0. Last chance for CNZ to bring one back in his favor.
Yep. Last chance indeed. I still can't get over. I mean, as you mentioned, vengeurR just finding these angles. The mechanics are so on point, and the speed with the Strog just gives him opportunities to find angles that his opponent just doesn't even expect. We saw CNZ be like, where am I getting hit from? A lot of frustration from there, and then the chase down. vengeurR just did an incredible job of keeping his head in the game, knowing that I will find you. You will not hide from me. I did it on map number 1. I'll do it on map number 2. But it looks like we're going map number 3, Ranger versus Doom. And what better way to end the day like how we opened it? A nice deep embrace, DJ.
A deep embrace. That's absolutely right. And I mentioned that I'm, you know, excited for this, you know, watching the players play on a new map, and we've seen it more and more. You know, it was kind of ducked and dodged a bit in those first couple of weeks, and we understand that, right? Players want to feel comfortable. We've seen since players have started playing 40 Lions is that, right, no one's written the playbook for Deep Embrace yet, and that's actually super exciting. I mean, even thinking about the game we saw earlier between Cooler and Kilson, like totally different from some of the other games that we've seen. And there's, you know, a few things that do play into this in terms of like movement and some of the abilities to gain positioning and momentum. But I'm excited for this one.
Oh yeah, let's make some noise in the chat as this one is going to be it. Raise your glass. Last chance saloon for CNZ to put himself on the board in this series. vengeurR looking to make that clean sweep and take home a 3-0 for the Maestro boys.
Wow, we got a rail right off the bat to kick off how this match is going to get started here. We're following vengeurR through his eyes, and CNZ hits his first hit, and that was a very, very nice rail. Almost gets hit with the rocket right there on the second one. Got the orb come out, but it's not going to be effective, and his opponent's not going to be baited by it. And, you know, will we see a high-scoring, high-frag game? It's kind of yet to be seen here, but no, LG as he jumps across through the hourglasses. And vengeurR, despite not having any armor, now picking up a light, has already done a significant amount of damage here in this matchup.
Yeah, some brutal LG from down below there. Next item's going to be Mega in about 10 seconds as vengeurR trying to get in on all the items. Ooh, that's so dangerous. He does get in on a rail, but a little tap on the cheeks there from CNZ. Very fortunate that he stayed on the map. We've seen ring outs happen there before. As this rail comes out, vengeurR will orb across to secure the heavy, but down under the rockets. You need to be careful there as CNZ with a cheeky angle. He jumps up with the rail. Is he going to close in with the LG? No, it's going to be the rail to take him out, but CNZ on top. One frag, and vengeurR needs to be careful right off the spawn. This could be terrible. The LG, is it going to reach? It is. Wow, that's two quick frags.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, we saw the mobility and the abilities come out right there, right? The double jump to hit the rail, the die orb to try to get positioning, but it played out in CNZ's favor. He doesn't hold on to that lead too long. He was up by 2 frags. vengeurR now bringing it back and looking through his POV. Those rails coming out are a blessing as he picks up another one after a double rail and then a shotgun blast. We've got a tie game back up, and also just to show how difficult it can be to have that death grip on control in this particular map.
Yeah, and right now, if you look at the scoreboard, 71% rail for vengeurR, 87 for CNZ, so it seems like a tale of which rail will prevail here from these players. 2-2, 2 minutes in, and this is starting to slow down a little bit here. CNZ trying to lay a trap. vengeurR comes around the corner. Another rail again, relentless. There it is again. Just how do you deal with that? You just keep getting hit around every angle.
I mean, you know, you mentioned their rail accuracies, and this isn't with like 1 or 2 shots. This is like 10 shots and 8 shots. And I don't know if vengeurR like saw the Killston interview, was like, man, they really complimented his rail. Maybe I should try to land a few. And then, you know, like both these players coming out with a mean rail off the bat. A little bit of LG do some tickling there on vengeurR as he jumps across. He had enough momentum there that only a little bit of damage gets done, but slow down pace is the story here as we've essentially tied back to 0-0 at a 2-2 score, and we've got a lot of time left over, but you know, great matchup so far.
Yeah, very close. There's the dire orb again. vengeurR using it as a distraction, not actually committing to the orb. CNZ will safely grab the heavy. Almost finds an angle for a rail. Needs to be careful, but vengeurR waiting around the corner with rockets. Not going to connect on the second one. That could have been a direct here. He's very weak, needs to be careful. He does dive in on the Mega, but still no armor to his name. He's going to eat 1 rocket, might eat another one too. This is not a safe place. vengeurR has 25 HP, needs to be careful. A little bit of a tickle. The 225s is going to be enough to through the murder hole, and the rail won't save him as CNZ grabs his 3rd frag and takes 1 frag lead.
I mean, I just can't even believe some of the shots that these two are making while being under the fire of the other, whether it's the rail, the LG, or these beautifully placed rockets. Another set, a pair of rails comes out, and can't quite follow that shotgun. He thought his opponent was low, but grabbed those 2 bubbles coming around the side. There, the LG to pick up a 4th frag, and then off the spawn, a beautiful rail, but the direct rocket. I saw it just coming right at me. I flinched a little bit, 40, but not as much as CNZ did, as vengeurR has 1 frag separating these two.
That was brutal. Right in the face mouth here as vengeurR looking for more. The rocket's bouncing, the follow-up rail won't. Both players at around 50 HP here. The rocket from above, is it going to be enough from CNZ? He needs 1 more, 25 HP for vengeurR. The dire orb's going to fail. He's not going to be able to steal the Mega away. And now it's just a matter of chicken. Is CNZ going to drop for the frag? Does he want the Mega? Does vengeurR? No, he does! What a flick! rail for with that defensive flick rail. I can't do this with you.
It's amazing. It's just amazing. I mean, it's always great when we can just shut up and the play, just speaks for itself. And there you saw it right there. I was actually thinking like, I wonder why he just didn't go for the die orb. I feel like he could have gotten that, and he knew his opponent was low, but hey, that's why these guys are in the QPL, and I am most certainly not. It was decision making at its finest here, and a beautiful flick rail to back it up as well. A similar position to what we've seen before, but this time CNZ actually wins that one. A double rocket set of rockets to take the lead back in his favor, 5-4. Rails exchanged again, and this game is insane.
It's absolutely insane, and CNZ almost dropped in the ravine there. He's going to take that frag. That's going to be 6-4, and just these rails are taking my breath away. I can't even. I know these two guys are handsome, but the gameplay is what's taking my breath away here. As a tickle, just a little bit of it, and it will. The shotgun will not prevail. CNZ up 3 now with Mega spawning. Can he get there in time to deal damage? He can't.
I mean, unbelievable.
Oh, wow.
81% rail, 16 shots, 13 made for CNZ right now. And that's pretty mean. That is kind of crazy. He's got that 3 frag lead, and the clock is ticking away. We've had a lot of time from these two just to sort of feel each other out and battle it out, and CNZ came out on top of that, but eventually vengeur's really going to need to be thinking about making up that deficit.
Wow.
What?
I don't understand anything that's happening. All I know is vengeurR is just a human aimbot right now with his rails. Rocket jumping, he wants to deny that 50 shard, and he's probably thinking in his head, you know what, I've done more with 1:30. I have plenty of time to get in this, especially on this map that's so small, so he's not worried at all. Only down 2, more than 3 minutes left, and vengeurR just feels comfortable right now.
Yeah, I mean, also like a small map, right? So 2 frags doesn't seem like a whole lot. A rocket on top of the dome, a second one to knock him into the wall, and then the LG to finish it off. vengeurR is going to be 1 frag closer to potentially tying this game back up, and so much time left on the clock. He's making some very nice positional rocket jumps. He's holding on to that orb so that he can use it in a place that or at a time and place that he finds appropriate. And there he does throw it out yet again. Doesn't go for it. Instead, tries to reposition himself, firing a couple rockets, and both players will back off for just a moment. It's going to be up here in just a second. And, CNZ's got to be sweating a little bit, seeing vengeurR get closer and closer to his frag count.
Oh, he's probably drenched in sweat. It's like that scene from Airplane here. Is vengeurR with a little bit of maybe a trick rocket jump? I'm not sure, but he gets the heavy regardless. And you have to be thinking, is CNZ thinking, okay, I've been in this situation the last 2 maps. I need to do something. I can't play that passive. Because this is exactly what vengeurR wants, right? Go ahead, choke yourself out of the map. I'll get the frag, I'll tie it, and then I'll have full control of the map, and I'll get the winning frag. And that's what CNZ needs to absolutely, without a doubt, avoid right now.
Yeah, and I mean, he should be able to, hitting still a 76% rail, but I think vengeurR now turning it up a little bit. He does hit the orb.
Oh, no!
My God, no way. The orb goes up, rockets exchange. We're gonna have another fight off the spawn as it's tied back up. CNZ is low out of the teleporter. vengeurR with the shotgun, and he takes the lead. This is insane.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. Why is this happening again? CNZ, please. A bit of rocket damage from vengeurR. He's forced down below. Heavy's going to be up. It looks like he might concede that. He doesn't really have a choice. Waiting on the lower 50. Maybe going to get some damage on this rail as the pickup comes out. Just missing. CNZ's so smart. Anticipating that vengeurR was setting up that angle, and now we're 1:10. vengeurR's up by 1. Is he going to get the clean sweep? Is it going to be a nightmare day for CNZ in terms of the set? There's good rockets here as he's down by the murder hole. The return rail is fantastic. 60 HP for vengeurR. He needs to be really careful. He's still railable even after that pickup.
Yeah, he's got to be very careful. And the LG pops the orb almost immediately as an escape mechanism, and somehow he manages to get out of that. CNZ still looking good, tries to land the rail, is hit by one and the second one from vengeurR, and suddenly it is very, very close. And look at that pretty aggressive rocket jump for positioning now. The heavy is a far amount of time before it is back up, and that's going to give CNZ the opportunity to head on over and grab that mega. Still 8 seconds left on this. Not sure how much I love this play right here, but vengeurR is going to stick to it. He hits a rocket, comes around the side, some LG exchange as well. The rail misses barely, and vengeurR gets away with 38 points of health. CNZ not so healthy himself, but CNZ's got to go on the attack.
Around the corner, can he hit a Dire Orb Rockets? And he's gonna do it! vengeurR somehow pulls it out! And wow, I cannot believe it, vengeurR has done it. He can dodge rockets. He can dodge bullets. This kid can do everything. He gets the clean sweep 3-0. And again, we see another map where CNZ maybe pumps the brakes a little bit too early, and vengeurR punishes appropriately and just takes that 3-0 back to Maestro and says, here you go. Just phenomenal play from vengeurR.
That was sick. That game was, I mentioned earlier, hey, I know this whole series is going to be great, but I feel like this Deep Embrace game will be awesome. It was, my God. I mean, there's so many moments during that game that we could potentially talk about. I'd love to hear, if we're ready to bring Jackie back, like what he thought, but just an amazing performance by both sides. I mean, is vengeurR the next legend of Quake? CNZ still played an incredible, amazing series, but like, my God, hitting every shot when it counted. And, the style behind some of it is just something to get excited about.
For me, it was just when he pulled out the gauntlet and tried to get the frag off the back of the telly. I was sat there like, oh no, come on, don't do this. You're not Razy, don't do this. And the second we see him flying through with the shotgun fully loaded, right, just rinses him and comes back into the game. That was sick, man. They were some really close maps. CNZ put up a good fight, kept it close, but it's just the pizzazz that vengeurR has, right? He's just so fun to watch and just makes it look easy when he's pulling off these crazy plays.
Just absolutely insane. Like, the ability to keep your head in the game even though you're down 1 or 2 frags with 1 minute 1:30 on the board, like, that takes a lot. Again, as we kind of talked to Kilson about it, the mental game of Quake is huge. Not cracking under pressure, believing in yourself, being able to still keep your mechanics high, and everything is just absolutely insane. And vengeurR proving time and time again that, yeah, he's coming for that #1 spot. He wants it. 3 maps in a row where he was down and people thought he might be out, but no chance, not for him. And he comes back and wins all 3, and that's just such a good set. Nothing against CNZ. He played great. He just needs to fix a few things so he can close out those. Very easily could have been a 3-0 in favor of CNZ.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. A couple of things gone a little bit differently, a few decisions made, and that could have happened. And certainly there is a skill in every Quake player that's like the heat of the moment. What can you do? What can't you do? And I think vengeurR kind of proved during this series that in the heat of the moment, he'll still pull out the stylish double rail frag at the end of Blood Covenant that will just blow us all away, or what we saw there with the orbs near the end, like, just really, really incredible stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of arena FPS, right? You've only got yourself to blame, but you've only got yourself to be proud of as well. vengeurR really should be proud of his accomplishments. We've got him ready to join us for an interview as well, so we can find out how he's feeling off the back of the tremendous 3-0 win to round out the week. Hello, vengeurR. How have you been, brother?
Hello. Unbelievable.
I'd hope so after those games. Wow.
I don't know what to say. I'm shocked, honestly.
Yeah.
But I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you?
Great.
Yeah, good, bro. It's good to have you back. It feels like it's been ages since I've seen you in the flesh, but it's good to hear you over the ASMR microphone. You're sounding very good, but you looked even better. I did want to ask you though, Deep Embrace in the veto, I saw you banning out Aizen. Was that actually a calculated pick that you didn't want him going on the Aizen on Deep Embrace?
I wanted to ban Doom, but if I ban Doom, he goes Ranger, and then I don't have an answer to him. Basically, that's it. Like, otherwise, I would have banned Doom if there was like maybe Sorlag or something else open. Like, I just decided to ban Aizen to give me the opportunity to play Ranger myself, because I think Doom is really good, but Ranger can be a nice counter. So that's it, basically.
So congratulations right off the bat. I mean, the 3 big victories. I need to know, like, what's going on in your head when you're down a frag or 2 and there's like a minute 30 left. Are you just in the zone? Are you calm? Do you still get nervous at all? Or do you just know the game plan? You know exactly what you have to do? And also, to piggyback on that, do you think that CNZ is kind of giving up too much of the map too early and kind of going full defensive a little bit too early?
Well, sometimes it's that the matchup that lets you to do it. Like with Nyx on Blood Covenant, it's really easy to plus back. So probably if I was him, I would have done the same. At the same time, it can be really dangerous because if you're a light and you give away everything, if you die once, then it's really hard for you to catch up again. So all I'm happy about is that I maintained my head properly in the game and I didn't like lost my focus, and I just played till the last minute as always. There is always hope, so to win a game.
There's always time. Yeah, man. Congratulations. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
vengeurR, I mean, obviously you finished season 1 really strong. In season 2, you had some great early victories, and we had you on. We got a chance to interview earlier in the season, and he talked about, you know, there were several things that you wanted to work on and that you were hoping to improve. And here we are in week 8. You've now are 5-1 in series 1. You know, can you talk a little bit about what you've actually been working on and how you're feeling? Because based off your results, everything that you said you were going to do looks great, like you did it all. Can you give us any insight into kind of what is bringing out the #1 seed in vengeurR?
Well, I still lost one match, so there is something to fix, clearly.
Hey, we're all humans, right? We're not perfect.
No, no, I mean, honestly, the past few weeks I didn't really feel in shape that much, and I felt like I was struggling a bit into my games. I was like not tilting, but I was not really in the mood to play that much. But the past few days I just took a break from streaming and I just focused on the game, watching VODs and stuff, and I just like went for the game. I expected everything that happened. I expected CNZ to play little bit more aggressive, so I expected to be a bit harder on that side, but it made me sweat a lot. I think like it was really hard to make such comebacks. So,
well, it was super exciting to watch. Congratulations, it was a great victory.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cheers for popping on, vengeurR. It's good to speak to you, mate. Well played tonight. Absolutely smashed it. There he is. What a legend. Definitely coming up. I mean, I think at this point, right, it's hard to really call him up and coming because he is up there and he is definitely coming for the big W's in any given game.
I agree. I mean, I don't know that anyone has ever set a, you know, a limitation's like, well, technically you need to have been playing Quake for X number of years. In order
there's
to
some
reach
people out there that do that.
status.
There's some people out there that do
you
that.
know,
Yeah, for sure.
You're probably right. You're probably right, 40.
We don't care about them though. We
don't, right? Keep giving us games and action like this, and yeah, I mean, you're all legends in my book. It's been great. So it's just exciting knowing his passion for the game, his passion for arena FPS, his dedication and willingness to improve, right? It makes for a very bright future.
Oh, absolutely, man. I think that's one of the really genuine things about arena FPS that it's so nice to see as well, right? Because you've got these players that it is down to them. At the end of the day, if they don't put in the hours, they don't put in that grind, they're never going to get to those new heights. And you can see that real drive with all of the Maestro players, but with vengeurR especially, right? He puts his heart on his sleeve. Super genuine guy when we get him on for the interviews, and the grind is clearly paying off. If he felt like he was a bit burnt out a few days ago and then he turns up and does something like that, it only goes to show he's clearly working towards being one of the true greats of all time. He's just got to keep on going.
Yep. I do one last thing. Big shout out to CNZ, right? I mean, you know, I think even when we said 3-0 at the beginning, none of us were thinking like 3-0 of ridiculously close games. And that, I mean, the guy, I hope CNZ you're not down on yourself, because what you did is you put on an amazing show. You definitely played out of your mind, and I still see it there, right? Like that's why it was so hard to even make that prediction in the first place, because you know, is a player who's capable of so much and he's going to keep reaching for it, and I encourage him to do it. He played great as well, even if he wasn't the victor.
Yeah, again, a couple things change. One rocket with a little more damage and everything could change, and that could be a 3-0 CNZ's way. So like I said, really close, not taking anything away from him. But yeah, the set was fantastic, and I can't think of a better way to end the day.
Yeah, a hell of a day it's been as well. All of the games have been absolutely fantastic tonight. Genuinely, thank you for everyone that's joined us throughout the course of the day. We've had some amazing moments. There's been so much crammed into about 6 hours. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think before we wrap this one up, any final thoughts on the day? 40, starting with you?
As always, man, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a blessing, and it's crazy that, you know, we can all just get together and enjoy Quake together. So it's an honor to cast alongside. Big shouts to chat and everyone on the production team at Bethesda that puts this on. If you ever want to check out anything, quake.pglesports.com for all the rankings, money breakdowns, map breakdowns, and it's just great, man. I love you guys.
I say the exact same thing. I echo everything that 40 said. You know, every single week, we are seeing the improvement. We're seeing the intensity as people are battling for their position on both sides, and you know, eventually the glorious and beautiful collision of all of these players yet again, which is coming soon, is going to be so exciting to see. So, just a big shout out to the players who are bringing their heart, their blood, their sweat, their tears every single week and giving us this phenomenal Quake Champions entertainment. So thank you all, and it's a pleasure to be here every Sunday with you guys.
Oh man, thank both of you as well. Genuinely, today's been a blessing. It's been so fun inside and outside of the game, spending time with all of you. Thanks for production as well, and of course Bethesda for even making this possible. This is week 8 of the Quake Pro League. It has been wrapped up, but of course that's the end of week 8. We're getting very close to week 12. The brawl for the belt is getting closer. So make sure you're tuning in every Sunday and keeping up to date with all the latest and greatest inside of the Quake scene. We'll see you back same time, place next week. Until then though, we'll catch you later.
Peace.